Hello everybody, it's Paul Marlette with the Physical Education and Wellness Implementation Series. I had a specific request for a little more information on this game called Yoshi. So I'm going to do a short little video kind of highlighting and outlining how this game works. In this, we'll put this one slide up in the resources for you. It does have a link to a video that also explains it in a slightly different way. So let's get started. I'm going to jump to full screen here. There we go. So Yoshi is an invasion game, like a TGFU, a Teaching Games for Understanding game, that allows us to really dial in to what invasion tactics are. So the setup is super simple, and we're going to go old school board talk on this. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up a field. Now, from our pedagogy series, we know that depending on the group of students that I have, I can make this field bigger, I can make it smaller. If you got a really big class, I might even set it up this way. I would set up a huge square, and then I would split it like so. So instead of playing like 15 on 15, now we can play, what would that be, like 7 on 8 or 7 on 7. You could even make this even shorter. It would be really hard for these kids, but you could actually play 4 on 4 on a really narrow. The key with these games is that, like all invasion games, the wider the field, the more opportunity you have for students to work on open space tactics. Okay? So most students are going to actually play in that middle zone. So I really like to use this opportunity to build out that tactic. So we have two teams, A team and a B team. The brilliant thing about this is that you can actually set the field up with 6 cones if you need to. Their object of the game is to clear the other team's end line. It doesn't have to be a zone, it can just be a line. Okay, same thing. Team B, they're trying to clear Team A and end up in their safe zone. So that's the game. So the goal is to be the first team to get every one of your members across your safe line. Okay. Now, what are some of the other rules in here? Because it's not quite that simple. If Team B is coming across and Team A tags them, so let's say we got Team B coming across and Team A tags them. Well, that player is now stranded there. I don't have kids sit down, I just have them stand. You can put your hands on your head, hand in the air. Most kids understand that if their player is standing, that they're trapped. Okay, there's no jail, nothing like that. So once you get tagged, you stay where you're at. That means that if you get tagged right here, you stay where you're at. The only way to free one of your players is to successfully make it through the other team and tag your player. As soon as that happens, they actually get a free walk across the center. This is really important. So first one rule, get to your end, your safe zone. Number 2, if you free someone, you must cross the center. Because there's another piece of this that once students understand, it changes the game a little bit. So let's say B gets 4 players across their line. All right. And now we get another player from B's coming in and they get tagged. They are stranded at the back side of the field. So this is my stranded player. Now in traditional capture the flag games, one of these players would have to come over and free them so they could get their free walk back. However, in Yoshi, any player who is in a free zone, B or B, can now move out and free that player. So now I've lost one person from my safe zone, but now they both get a free walk across the line. So this player cannot come out and then go back in. If you free a player, they must cross the center line. Where the game gets exciting is when you're left with 2 or 3 players on both sides. So let's say I've got a whole bunch of players who are safe here, and I've got 2 players in, I've got 2 players in, and this is our setup. Right? Now, when we look at offense and defense, this game is great because it gets very confusing. So if one of our players comes, wrong color, my apologies. If one of our A players comes running in and gets really close to this line, but they get tagged, so that means they're stationary there. What does that mean? That means I've got a 2-on-1 situation here. This team, someone from this team is going to have to tag that individual and cross center as quickly as they can, because as soon as that player is anchored, these two players can make a run for it. So it does come down to a sprint to the end. And after the first couple of times of playing this, it's important to talk to students about, well, who do you want to be those last two people or the last player? Because if you can come by and tag someone and trap them, then the game is pretty much over. Right? So it is pretty straightforward game. That's the stuff. The more you play it, the more techniques and strategies are going to come out. But that difference between are you on offense or defense, and anyone who tags someone from their team has to cross that center line. I hope that helps, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks so much.